What's up, guys? This video is all about why cold outreach doesn't work for most people, and it is not a problem with cold outreach. The number of things, by the way, that I keep hearing are dead. LinkedIn is dead, email's dead. All of it dies, but it still works if you do it right. And it has more to do with the overall strategy and approach and less to do with the actual medium. Like somehow people think that if a person goes from LinkedIn to Facebook to email, they suddenly become a different person. Rarely is that true. There may be little nuances of the platform that are different, but you're still connecting with people, and as long as you're working with people, things that work on people will work on people, and they'll work on people for 100 years. So let's talk about those things. For those of you guys who don't know me already, by the way, my name's Frankie Finn. I wrote the book Beyond the Agency Box. Since 2007, I've built 3 of my own agencies up to 100 plus clients, and I've helped hundreds of people worldwide to live the whole agency, beach, laptop lifestyle. I got my kids with me over there, just keeping an eye on them. They're naked playing in the sand, as only toddlers can do. So let's get into the good stuff. Alright, I created this video because a lot of y'all motherfuckers do cold outreach, and there's nothing worse, by the way, in cold outreach, not even when people tell you no, but you just straight up get ghosted. You send messages and you send messages and nobody responds, and you seem like you're getting nowhere, and you don't even know really what the fuck you're doing wrong. Well, let me tell you, as somebody who receives a lot of cold outreach, the biggest thing that most people do wrong, by the way, is thinking that it is a magic script that is going to unlock the wallet, and therefore they're trying to come up with the perfect sales message, and really all you're trying to do is come up with the perfect opener. You're actually just trying to open a conversation, not to make the sale in a single leap and bound. And by the way, you can go to the sale in like 2 or 3 steps. So what that means is most people are, as a result, having these mistake number 1, copy and paste like brutal fucking messages that are really obviously copied and paste. And it is so much more powerful to take 10 seconds to click on somebody's profile and write something specific. I'll tell you, like when people write me, if they're just like, buy my latest fucking backlinks package or whatever, gets ignored. But if they start it with, hey, I just read your book, blah, 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 100% of the time those messages get read. And I can see from the preview sentence in Gmail which way they went. So this is such a key, because if you go straight to the buy my shit.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. So here's my number, now buy my shit.
That song is catchy, by the way. That song is straight fire. Thank you to the wonderful lady on Fiverr who sang that for me. So if you go straight to the buy my shit, people are going to ignore you, especially if it's a generic copy and paste buy my shit. Second reason, by the way, that most people get ignored, and this is because their offer sounds more like a take than a give. It basically, if you decode it, it would be like, give me money because I want you to give me money. Instead of like, hey, I would love to do this thing for you. You'd be amazed that like when you do things for other people as your opener, like, hey, I'd love to interview you, or I'd love to run this campaign for you. I'd love to give you this thing. I thought of this thing that might help you. You'd be amazed that suddenly like people are interested in hearing it, right? So much of why people struggle in cold outreach, mistake number 2, is they're trying to take. They're sending generic copy and paste shit and saying take, right? It's like, when you know, I know you guys have better services than that and better deliverables, but it doesn't sound all that different than like the Viagra motherfuckers who've been spamming us for the last, 20 years since I've been online. If I just search the word Viagra in my Hotmail, which is 20 years old, that would be a dangerous fucking place. Mistake number 3 with cold outreach, and I kind of hinted at it earlier, is thinking because there's a magic script that the idea is to close in a single message. It is not. The point of outreach is to open a dialogue that is in the direction of a sale, right? So if you compare this to kind of relationship, there's a difference between walking up to somebody like and saying like, hey, nice weather we're having, and saying, hey, I thought you were really pretty. Are you single, right? Like, obviously the one's a little more aggressive and forward, but it's going to lead in the direction of potentially having some kind of, romantic relationship or something like that, as where the other one feels kind of bait and switchy, right? So I get people who ask me, hi, how are you doing? And I know as soon as I answer, they're just going to copy and paste some sales thing, like, how would you like to join my group of amazing blah, 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 right? So if you stay away from thinking that you're supposed to do it in a single message, you can do it like 2 or 3, by the way. But the idea is to open in the direction of the sale. Like, for example, when We're looking for people who, like do motorcycle cases. We might just say something like, hey, do you guys handle motorcycle cases? Sounds so amazingly simple, but you'd be amazed at how much the simple shit really works. Especially if you personalize that to them. I said, I saw your personal injury firm. You guys have been doing 20 years. Looks like you handle a lot of great cases. Do you do any motorcycle cases? Right? That is far more likely to get open than like copy and paste, even though it's the same basic thing, like buy my motorcycle case thing. It's amazing, right? So you want to focus on doing stuff that opens the door, and then think about like 2 or 3 steps later how you can make the sale, because they have to, not just for your own sake, but they have to admit they need it for themselves. And you stay away from those 3 things where it's generic copy and paste, where it's like a take, and where you're trying to make the sale in a single leap and bound. You'll find that most of your outreach works. Like even today on all the platforms that everybody says are dead, we can send like a handful of messages, usually less than 10, and get half of those motherfuckers or more to reach out and say, okay, I'm interested. So it's not as hard as most people make it. Where most people make it hard is in doing one of those 3 things. So I hope it's helpful to you. I hope that'll help you guys who've been struggling a little bit with this to break through, because it's better to send 10 messages to one person and do it strategically, somebody who's really, really important in your business, than it is to just copy and paste 100 messages to people that go nowhere, get you ghosted, and then you can't figure out what the fuck you even did wrong. So that's all I got for you guys. My Zelda bee is covered in sand and coming to me. I'd love to hear from you guys, your experience with cold outreach, what's working for you, what's not. Just share a little bit of your experience so we can make this stuff better. I'd love to hear more of what you guys are doing so we can make some future videos on those things. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment about your damn cold outreach experience, or I'm gonna have to go angry pop on you. I'm just messing with you guys. I love you. Anyways, that's all I got. May the force be with you.